Good evening and welcome to Tulsa, Oklahoma. We're heading to Lucy Red Energy Stadium between two teams sitting at 3 and 6 leading into this game. The grand prize in this division rivalry is the advantage in pursuing Indianapolis for the division title in the Central. My name is Jacob Clear. Alongside me is the brains trust of the broadcast booth, Brett Solberg. Brett, I want to ask you, what are you looking for in tonight's game between these two sides?
Well, it's going to be one thing or another coming from these teams here. It's either going to be an absolute shootout or it's going to be an absolute juggernaut defensive fest. We know these two teams have struggled through this season, such up and down affairs. But with how this Central Division has shaped up through 10 games, through 9 games for a lot of these guys here, there is still a chance that one of these two can sneak up on Indy and take this division. Now it's all going to be dependent on which run game is going to show up, because neither run team has shown up so far this season.
Both results that were needed for these two sides went their way this week. A Canton win at the first game of the weekend provides them with an opportunity for the Central Division winner to make the playoffs, along with a Minnesota loss putting them back to 7 wins, making their path to the playoffs a little more harder. Sioux Falls will receive the opening kickoff by way of AJ Levy, the veteran strong safety and returner for the Sparrows. We are underway in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Returned out past the 5. Up to the 30, a flag thrown out on the play, and Levy will be brought down at the 30. Tack on an extra 5.
Gotta go throw an incidental face mask on that.
No real harm done, but allows Sioux Falls to start with slightly better field position. This offense led out by the veteran Julian Tyree leads the league in passing yards, but also in turnovers. Single back is Williams. And Tyree pressured and tipped away and incomplete. He was looking for Marion straight away. Good tip by the linebacker Phil Collins.
Yeah, and they're going to bring the pressure early on because they know that Julian Tyree has been a streaky quarterback this season so far. He did have a string where he played 4 games without interception, but the game against Fort Worth, he did throw 5 picks in their most recent loss.
Ace look for the Sparrows. They'll bring, looks like the backup tight end Eddie Maddox in motion to the left-hand side. Tyree will roll out, clean pocket. Looks across his body, fires it in that direction, and it's caught for a first down. AJ Warren checking in.
And there's a clear 1-2 option that Tyree likes to go for. You go with your lead woman in Kay Marion on the deep throws, and then if she isn't open, you find AJ Warren, who has sneakily had close to a 900-yard campaign this season. And I say sneakily because I don't think people recognize that, Warren's, getting a lot of these catches on the inside and a lot of these catch and run opportunities like we saw here.
Gonna spread the receivers out here on the fresh set of downs. Man in motion is Joseph Baudet. Toss play to the outside. Jason Williams is going to rush it to the edge and will run out of bounds for a gain of 5. And you mentioned the fact that Kay Marion has been so elite this season. There was a time where AJ Warren was ahead of her in total yardage. Since then, Kay Marion has really set the second half of the season alight and has since taken over, but both elite in their own right. Heavy run set, another toss out to Jason Williams, and he will be stopped right where he started. The rest of that Tulsa offense, we mentioned Ben Harrison and Eddie Maddox, the tight ends, Jason Williams and Charlemagne Cornelius, the backs, those receivers again. Ryan Davis, AJ Warren, Joseph Baudet, and K. Marion. Tyree on third down. He's going to roll into the pressure. Good look.
Oh, right
Picked
to him.
off. Straight into the defender's breadbasket. And returning it up the other way is Nate Haslett. And what an early advantage for Tulsa. Turnover with huge yardage tacked onto it.
And that's the streakiness of Julian Tyree. This time I think he just waited a little bit too long, and his receiver was just stuck on a spot. So when he threw that football, you'll see right here, they kind of just stuck to a spot, and it was right into the hands of Nate Haslett. He had wide open sideline to the right there to get a great return, and now Tulsa is going to start their game in enemy territory right away.
Nate Haslett, the 12-season veteran, that's just his second interception of the season, but a huge play by the veteran. And JQ and the Tulsa offense will take over in Sioux Falls territory, and the handoff will go to Douglas Brown to start proceedings. He's dropped for a short gain.
Yeah, and this is the problem with both of these teams here. Not just Tulsa's offensive line, but Sioux Falls' offensive line as well. Doesn't give the amount of protection that's necessary to give guys like Douglas Brown or Jay Will to get himself moving forward. You can see on that play there, stifle right the line.
Q again, short throw, that's tipped away, dangerous throw. Good coverage by Jason Strongbow, and early on, two of the veterans of this Sioux Falls defense involved. AJ Levy plugged the gap on that first play coming down from the safety spot, and then Strongbow involved in pass coverage, and that sets up Tulsa now needing to convert on a 3rd and 10. Ball wide to Q's right. He will drop back. Pressured, looking deep. It's incomplete. Flag on the play. Looked like the coverage from Terrell Davis was a bit too physical.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it was. He wasn't aiming for the ball at all before the receiver could have his hands on the football, and that's why the flag went up, plain and simple there. We see so many of these bang calls, throughout this season so far, but this one may be a little bit more obvious against the defense there because of DJ Hume not being able to have an opportunity to catch that football.
A disappointing result for the Sparrows defense. Hume in the area, as you mentioned, but contact too heavy. So Tulsa now in the red zone. They're going to send a man in motion. Sonzo Robinson, the veteran, back turned wide out. Q will roll out. Looking across his body, incomplete again. Good tip. It's Strongbow for a second time in coverage.
And this is what Sioux Falls does really well as a team, is that they can really stifle opposing quarterbacks in throwing into a deep pass and try to throw those touchdown passes because they have hands all over the place. There is a reason why they are coming into this week 4th in the league in total pass deflection.
A historically elite defense is Sioux Falls unit. Man in motion is Manning. He will go to the opposite slot. Q, short looks, got Manning for a close to a first down. They're going to mark him a couple inches short.
Yeah, there's a couple ways that Q likes to get Manning involved, and one of those is going to be those quick hitters, those quick slants that Q can just sling that rock because he knows Manning gets open right away, especially on tight coverage.
Bunch set here for the Desperados. Q will hand it off. Douglas Brown pounces up the middle. And it's been a rough season for Douglas Brown, but that's a first down run.
Yeah, and he's had plenty of carries to try to get himself involved here, but an average carry of less than 4 yards a carry isn't going to cut it in this league here, so he needs to get himself more involved. He needs to find ways, possibly by himself, to get more yards.
All to go now for the Desperados. Same look as the previous play. It'll be a similar play to Brown. This time they plug the gap. Heavy look, and AJ Levy again getting involved in the run coverage.
Yeah, and this is more clear-cut that Sioux Falls defense knows that they might start with a run here on 1st and goal and maybe on 2nd and goal as well. So why not bring the house and plug any gap that the offensive line is going to give them?
Rookie Stuart Gotts in the tackle as well. He and Marcus Benson have both been impressive in the new additions for this unit. Brown to the outside. He'll get close. Great tackle in the open field. That was some effort to bring him down. It looked like Brown had an open look at the end zone and he was dragged down at the last moment.
Yeah, credit to John Barnhart in closing that little gap that Brown did have to the end zone, just right on the money, right at the 2.
Brown needs one. He gets the handoff, plugged up the middle. Sioux Falls gets the stop. It's Strongbow again. Impressive opening drive from the veteran inside linebacker.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, the last time I did call a Sioux Falls game, we saw this early on in the game where any time the opposing team was inside the goal line, essentially, they were stifled. And Stuart Goss is one of those guys that could stifle you.
Brook Brown with the chip shot completes the drive. 9 plays, 39 yards there. A lengthy drive in short yardage, but they're unable to convert in goal to go. If you're new to the Simulation Football League, welcome. The SFL is football for everyone. Get off the sideline and start your play today by joining us at our Discord server at simulationfl.net. Click the Join the Community button and begin your career, or just meet the stars of the SFL on and off the field. It's never too late to get involved. That kickoff is not returned, and Sioux Falls will get another crack at it here after that opening turnover from Julian Tyree. It's his 23rd on the season. Leading into this game, that was equal first with only OJ Bruin for interceptions across the season. Spread wideouts. Move Marion in motion. Tyree pressured and thrown to the ground, but another dangerous situation is Tulsa front 7 is getting pressure early on.
Yeah, and that's something different that we're seeing from the Tulsa defense, is that they're applying pressure in the pass game. They are coming into this game 23rd in the league in passing defense, averaging about 248 yards allowed here. They're usually a stout run defense, this crew here, but now it's maybe kind of changing things up here to, adjust for Sioux Falls' offense.
Marion moving in motion again. Travis Arthur picked her up. Tyree again. The pressure gets in. They get to him. Sacked in the backfield by Jaden Swift.
And it's interesting because Jaden Swift kind of acted, he's usually the nose tackle in a lot of the formations, especially in three lineman formations if Tulsa ever gets to it. But they go with 5, and they set Jaden Swift as an edge guy, and he curls around to get to Tyree's blind side.
Mike Mello, Berto Demora as well on that line. They bring 4 this time. Again, the pressure in Tyree's face. Launches downfield, falls away. Good coverage. They picked it up. It was one of the backups, and Sioux Falls has lost the guard on the play, but they'll force a punt.
Yeah, and again, look at the pressure from the Tulsa defensive line. This time, Mike Mello really pushing his opposing offensive lineman around here, and almost got to Tyree by pushing his own offensive lineman onto him. And he was lucky, Tyree, to actually get that ball off. And they're lucky to, punt this football away instead of, a fumble or even interception.
Even Ware got the tip. It was Cameron Shaw's man that it was targeted towards in AJ Warren. This punt fair caught by Gabriel Manning at the 40 and returned no further, so Tulsa will get another crack at it, but it's probably not the start that they were after there, Sioux Falls. I mean, that goes without saying. Both opening drive results in a turnover, the second a quick 3 and out, fronted by the sack from Jaden Swift. And the home side.
You have to think that Tulsa has revenge on their minds. Remember, back in Week 8, Sioux Falls absolutely walloped Tulsa. It was 37-13 at the end of the night after Week 8.
It's a really good point. Certainly the start of this game suggests that That won't be the case again. And that pass across the middle finds Sonzo Robinson for a gain of 7.
I think Tulsa's starting to figure out that the Sioux Falls linebackers and secondary are starting to back up a little bit here so they can prevent the deep pass. So that short route is open. We saw that with Gabriel Manning on the quick hit, and now we see it here with Sonzo.
Split backfield. Looks like another run situation here for Doug Brown. He'll get the carry on the outside, and Sioux Falls plugs it again. This run defense very early on has been very impressive. Jay Ringgold involved, the veteran free safety. The rest of that Tulsa offense led out by JQ, Sonzo Robinson, DJ Hume, Gabriel Manning, and the rookie Ian Francis, with DJ Bandit and Marquis Sango, the tight ends. Brown and Scott Parle are the backs, with Lars Bazar, the fullback. They're going to send Brown here on a third down carry. He gets the short yardage and a first down.
Yeah, and again, it might be just the sheer will of Douglas Brown to move himself forward. That last play there, maybe an ill-advised spin move that prevented him from getting the first down. This time, he just no nonsense. Run that baby forward, get the chains moving.
Back to an offset eye. Q will throw across his body, and it's caught for another first down. That's DJ Hume.
And again, look how fast that it's getting out of Q's hands here. It's not a lot of time before he throws that out, and it's very quick. The secondary is ready for it. You see, again, Barnhart stepping back, getting ready for a deep 15-yard pass, but it goes a little bit short, and he's got to catch up to the ball instead of playing a one-on-one battle.
Keep this spread look that they've maintained for the most of the start of this game. Q again, that's caught over the middle, and an introduction for, I believe, DJ Bandit, the tight end.
Yeah, and he's a reliable tight end. He's been the red zone threat. Hasn't a lot of yards, but he has been part of 4 touchdowns coming into this game here. If it isn't Manning, Bandit gets the touches.
4 receivers now involved in this Tulsa offense. Q will hand it off to Brown, and he will get a first just barely. Looked like it was going to be blown up in the backfield. Eventually, his opposite number, Ringgold, finished it up, but not before he got the first.
Yeah, and Johnny Van Man must be beside himself because he had Brown 3 or 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage and couldn't wrap him around. And that was all Brown needed to at least get that first down.
Q to drop back, launches across his body, and again, that just falls through the hands. He was looking for Bandit for a second time on this drive. A little overthrown.
And again, credit to this Tulsa offense really getting these quick hits down and seeing that their receivers are open down the field on these short 7, 8, and 10-yard routes. Bandit was open. He just couldn't get his hands on it.
Triple formation as a single back. They're going to send the rookie Ian Francis in motion to Q's right. Look out for that. That slot's open. He's going to look that direction, but it will be caught across the middle. Tough grab by DJ Hume, and it's going to merit 7.
And again, it's another quick hit. They're not giving a lot of time for this defensive line to get to Q. They're focused on getting these short routes, and it's working right now. They keep moving forward. Now it's a 3rd and 3, and they're well within field goal territory, which just shows the progression that Tulsa's made in this game already.
Joker set for the Desperados. They've been good in short yardage situations thus far. Q moves in motion. Q will pass, looks across, and it's incomplete, in and out of the hands of DJ Bandit. The 3rd target for him on that drive, only the 1 catch, and it's going to force Brooke Brown to come out again.
And again, it feels like throughout this season, Tulsa's really relied only on 3 receivers when it comes to their red zone scenarios. Gabriel Manning's number 1, Bandit's number 2, and then if they can't find those 2, you've got DJ Hume. They tried it one more time with Bandit, and this time he just got a little bit stymied by his defensive counterpart.
Field goal from Brown is up and good, and 2 scores from Tulsa to open up the game, but no harm done. Sioux Falls still within a score by virtue of their defense. What have you seen so far from Sioux Falls' defense, Brett, that you think has maintained this one-score lead?
It's basically the bend but don't break mentality that is like synonymous with the league in itself. Sioux Falls does a great job, especially if they're back down in a corner. They know which spots that the ball is going to be thrown, so at least they can get their hands on it. That's why they've been the masters of pass deflections through the season.
Kickoff returned up towards the 25 and no further. For all league highlights, photo galleries, major and minor league stats and leaderboards, community content, and so much more, check out the league's website at simulationfl.net, presented by Football Shift. Stay up to date and explore our past, present, and future. Sioux Falls now with a one-possession deficit despite the 2 scoring drives from Tulsa. Their defense has held the margin thus far. Ace look, Tulsa's going to bring pressure. Empty pocket for Tyree across his body. That's caught for an 8-yard gain. Brings AJ Warren back into the game. That's a good start.
Yeah, and that's the start that Sioux Falls need. They need to just move forward, see where they can progress. But early on, they're going with Julian Tyree. They might be falling into Tulsa's hands offensively here. But that rollout to the opposite side was a nice touch.
Handoff for Williams is just blown up in the backfield. David Ware involved. The rest of that Tulsa defense includes the other linebackers Tony Roberto and Philadelphia Collins, the corners Nate Haslip, Jay Rock, and Cameron Shaw, and Nano Matthews. 4 of them, Travis Arthur and Marco Swift, make up the safeties. And you see that 4-man front again from Tulsa. Pressure on the left-hand side. Tyree's got a clean pocket outside. K. Marion first down.
Oh, watch out here. They might call
Injury on the play, and it is K. Marion.
That's huge. Because that's Sioux Falls' top receiver right now. And if she's down and out for a considerable chunk of time, not even let alone a game here, that's going to be huge for Sioux Falls, and they need to adjust quickly.
Sometimes in these situations, it's easy to sit back and say next man up, but it's very hard to replace a receiver with over 1,000 receiving yards on the season, and approaching 6,000 on her career as well. Handoff for Williams. Again, Tulsa's defense gets across, and he just barely gets back to the line of scrimmage, but Philadelphia Collins cleans it up.
Yeah, listen to this for tackles for loss numbers here, and this is all from the linebacking core. David Ware has 12, Phil Collins has 13, Tony Roberto has 15. They take up over 50% of the total tackles for loss on the team.
It's hugely important in this division, especially with the way that Indianapolis and Minnesota are both run-centric. Tyree dropping back off his back foot. It's deflected away and falls harmless into the turf. It looked like it was targeted towards Cornelius, but falls away.
Yeah, and it might be one of those things that Sioux Falls is adjusting on and starting to make Cornelius that slot receiver so they can at least, cover up that spot, move Warren up, move Ryan Davis up, move Bodette up a little bit in the depth chart and get Cornelius some touches in the slot.
Empty backfield for Tyree. He's going to have to roll right back into the back of the pocket and incomplete. Look downfield. He looked like he ran half a country mile to get into clean space. Deflected away by Marco Swift, and Tulsa's defense forces another 3 and out.
Yeah, as that defensive line just dominating the guardsman and the tackle. Just no chance for Tyree to really settle and look around. He had to push back 10 yards just to see a look himself.
Caught at the 20 by Manning, and minimal return on that one. Gained 8, and you saw those stats pop up on the bottom of the screen, brought to us by Mark Lopez and Mel Davis tonight. Julian Tyree's start 3 of 9, so 6 incompletions early on, and they just haven't been able to get anything going offensively thus far. This Tulsa defense, as you mentioned, particularly the defensive line, has absolutely suffocated the Sioux Falls offensive front. And now Tulsa are presented with another opportunity to extend their lead. Watch out for that edge rusher there. Didn't rush in the end, and that pass was a little wayward, and looked for DJ Bandit, incomplete.
Yeah, and this is one of the risks that you take when you go with those quick hit options. You want to have your receivers at exactly the right spot, and Bandit wasn't there. He was about 2 or 3 yards off, which resulted in what that throw looking to be a little error.
Go back to the ground here on second. He'll throw Q. Under pressure, look deep. It's caught by Bandit. This time he got it. And Tulsa flips the field.
And flip the field at the end of the quarter here again, carrying that momentum forward, because it seems like they're the only team out of this two that's actually moving forward in their offense. And that was just simply put a go route for Bandit. No linebacker got to him. That was an easy catch.
Down one at Lucy Red Energy Stadium. The home team, the Tulsa Desperados, leads at 6 points to nothing after one. Back here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Good contest developing here between two central teams looking to keep playoff hopes alive. The winner today will gain a real advantage in pursuing the division title. Here with Wins to his left. And drop back. Got pass protection in the backfield. That's caught downfield. Great throw. And finds DJ again.
Yeah, it almost seemed like the same route, just on the opposite side from DJ Bandit here. We'll see it on the replay again. Just another go route, and there it is. Miscommunication between that linebacker and Levy there, it looks like, on who was going to cover Bandit, which had that pocket of opportunity for Q to throw the football.
It's stuck between, it looked like Strongbow and Jay Ringgold, who were both assigned to that area of the field. Q throws again on first down. That's overthrown a touch and will bring out that Sioux Falls defense. Nick Fargo, James Kelly, Mike Wagner, and Johnny Van Man make up the defensive line. Strongbow and the rookies Gotts and Marcus Benson are the linebackers. The corners, John Barnard, Nathan Barnett, Terrell Davis, and Jay Ringgold and AJ Levy make up the safety room. 2nd and 10 for the Desperados inside the Sioux Falls 30. The handoff will go to Brown on the outside, and that's another solid carry. Nets 5, and that makes 3rd down a little more comfortable.
And right now, with this passing game of Tulsa being pretty effective through this first quarter and a bit here, that's all Douglas Brown needs to be, is just solid. He doesn't need to do anything too flashy. 5 yards is pretty good.
Same formation. Q will drop back to pass on 3rd down. Pressure is non-existent, and it's caught downfield. Sioux Falls pays the price, and he finds Sonzo inside the 5.
Yeah, and Sonzo is one of those guys that is just, sometimes deceptive in his stature, and he's 6'2", deceptively small sometimes, and it was just that opening gap you can see between two defenders there. You had Nathan Barnett kind of covering a certain side, and that's what you call exploiting a zone defense, is just patience, trying to find your man open, and you get it.
Such a beautifully worked play. Q with the patience to allow Robertson to virtually cross the entire field to get into open space. Joker's set. Handoff inside. Brown, this time he's got a crease. And Douglas Brown will get the opening touchdown of the game.
And great job from the offensive line, like you said, to open up that crease, to open up that gap. And there's a key block you just saw right there from DJ Bandit to prevent the defender from getting even close to Brown. And that's what led to that open space and a key touchdown for Tulsa, as they right now have the offense set and ready to go to play against the Sioux Falls defense.
And crucially, despite the fact that Sioux Falls defense has been good by and large, that extra point by Brown up and through, Tulsa have had 3 drives and have scored on all 3 drives. Thus far, Sioux Falls are 0 for 3. If you're liking the game so far, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events per year. There is no one else that gives you that much football. Don't miss a minute of SFLM or SFL action, and help the channel grow through your support. That kickoff returned at the front of the end zone. And ran up. Sioux Falls have had a few different returners. Generally, it's been Levy to take the returns, but so far they've had a few involved. That was one of the backup receivers taking that one forward. And speaking of SFL, that's getting very near us. Started November. We'll be bringing back minor league action, but we're still in the thick of the playoff hunt in the season 21 regular season. And these two teams still well and truly in the race, but Sioux Falls slightly on the ropes at the moment. Huge drive here. Have to get something going. Warren will go in motion up to the right into the slot. Tyree, backfield throw, finds Williams. That might be the way to use him because he's got a first down.
Yeah, and this is usually what Sioux Falls does when they can't get Williams going. So they kind of use him as that swing pass option, and he can run for himself. He's got the speed and capability to burst out for these big gains if he wants to. He just needs to have that opportunity, and right now that opportunity might be through the swing pass.
Mike Lopez told us that of Williams that 3 of 4 of his first carries were either 0 yards or less. He's only had one positive carry. That reception, a much needed play for Williams. Tyree is going to roll out to his right across his body. That's caught. Good play. Sioux Falls getting some momentum. AJ Warren again gets them moving.
Yeah, and with this play here, when you have the rollout, you want to get your receivers in front of the secondary, and that's what Warren does here. He gets slightly in front of Nate Heslip, just enough for Tyree to sling it his way, and trust on him to at least gain a few more yards on that. Very nice play from Sioux Falls.
2 plays to open the drive up for Sioux Falls. 2 first downs through the hands of the passing yard leader, both all-time and on the season. Check that edge there, Philadelphia Collins threatening to blitz. The handoff will go to Williams in the other direction. That's a better carry, and another first down for Williams.
Yeah, first risky defensive play from Tulsa, I would say. They're really bringing the heat. You could see that one of the corners actually went for the blitz. It looked to be actually that was safety Marco Swift coming in. That's very Portland-esque, as you can see. They're kind of starting to get from Portland's playbook, but this time it doesn't work as they go opposite side, and Williams gets the first down.
And head coach Mel Davis, he's on stats tonight. I wonder if he would have approved of that usage of the versatile safety in Marco Swift. The handoff from Tyree goes to Williams, and he will get another good gain. That's going to net 7. So from what was a tough start to this game for Jason Williams, has been 3 plays to start this drive that have been at least 7 yards, including 2 first downs.
And that's going to be huge. If Sioux Falls can open up that offense and show that their run game is very much capable, Tulsa will have to change their defensive game plan.
Short yardage situation. I'll send Ben Harrison in motion. Neither tight end has been sighted yet for Sioux Falls. Handoff to Williams. He got caught in traffic, fought for it, and is going to be spotted a couple inches short of the first.
Yeah, and that's Tulsa rightly bringing in the house this time to stop Jason Williams as quickly as possible. And now it's going to be a 3rd and inches scenario. First time that Sioux Falls is really in field goal territory here, and they're going to bring a goal line formation.
Heavy run set. Williams looks like he just got it. Gets across the stripe and will net a first down. That's a huge play.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one to call from this angle. Tulsa's not going to challenge it, so I think they agree that is a first down as well.
Williams starting to settle into this game here. He's going to be sent in motion, but it looks like just to Tyree's left. Tyree will roll out in that direction, looking that way, and Williams has got another catch. He's second of the game. That net 6, so a heavy dosage of Jason Williams in this drive. Every play bar 1. In fact, that was Charlemagne Cornelius, the fullback who you mentioned earlier. You said that was being used more as a receiver to elevate some of their slot guys. Such a versatile fullback they can use in a pass situation. He was the lone back. Now he's back as the fullback. Williams will get the carry. And that's going to be short of the first down. It's only going to pick up one, if that. 3rd and 4.
Yeah, just a lack of blocking from his lead fullback. You can see there, if he would have gotten the proper block, that would have been a nice, 4 or 5 yards, which would have been necessary for the first down. But now they're going to be a 3rd and 4.
Tyree on
Boy.
3rd down, clean pocket. No, he got it away. The pressure got to him, but he was able to unleash and caught for a first down by Joseph Beaudet.
And the woes of Mike Mello continues. This man has only half a sack to his name, and he's had plenty of opportunities throughout the season to get more under his name. And again, just inches away from getting it, and it leads to a complete pass.
There's a coach killer as well by Cameron Shaw. Just got completely frozen in coverage and allowed his man to be wide open for the first down grab. Tyree going to go for it again. It's across the park. Pay dirt. It's a touchdown. A.J. Warren in for the score. Sioux Falls are on the board.
And this play here, it was Sioux Falls exploiting the middle of the defense. We talk about that little pocket between the linebackers and the safeties that you see. You can see it being wide open, yards ahead of Travis Arthur, and they go with the slant to A.J. Warren. He was going to get open no matter what. There was a huge bubble there. It felt like an inevitability. 6 on the board for Sioux Falls.
What a response from the Sparrows. And remember, Kay Marion went down on their previous possession, so in the absence of her, Joseph Beaudet stepped up and got a catch for the first time today and was backed up by A.J. Warren, the veteran, who got the scoring play. Sashtel Black to send this one back to Tulsa, and all of a sudden we've got a ball game here at Lucy Red Energy Stadium. Return by Manning, and he almost got free. Good tackle. Picked him up and drove him into the turf, but not before he got it out to the 36.
And Gabe Manning is a dangerous man. Remember week 4, where he got himself a kick return and a punt return touchdown in the same game against that Minnesota. Or was it week? I believe it was actually week 7 or 8, if I'm not mistaken, that he got that. My mistake on that, but he had that 2 special teams touchdowns, and that was basically a difference maker in the game.
One of the backups on special teams for Sioux Falls just said we're not having any of this and sent him into the center of the earth on that return. Q on first down. That's caught across the middle. That's a familiar sight so far today. Finds DJ Bandit. That's his 4th catch of the game.
He's been a regular target so far for JQ. I believe the last 7 or 8 out of the last 7 or 8 targets, 5 of them have gone to DJ Bandit, so he has had a healthy dose of touches so far in this first half.
Back to the run, set short yardage to go. Sioux Falls look like they haven't packed the box at all. And you're going to rush to the outside, and a good call by the Sioux Falls defense. And John Barnhart gets the tackle for loss.
Yeah, Barnhart, easily the most active defensive player on the Sioux Falls defense so far, has been involved in 6 tackles so far in this game, and that's one of the big ones there to get the TFL.
Can they do it again here, or with 1 to go? Similar defensive look from the Sparrows. The handoff goes to the outside again for Brown. He's close. They'll give it to him. The tackle was made by Strongbow, but they're not enough from the inside linebacker to prevent the first down.
Another one that is way too close to call. And Sioux Falls, in part, will not challenge themselves. Tulsa will move forward here and move the chains.
Tough spot for Sioux Falls. Brown will get the carry again. He was blown up the backfield, but he keeps going to the outside. That's a great carry. What started as a really blown up play, eventually Stuart Gotts was able to push him out of bounds, but that's a better run after what's been a pretty tough start for Douglas Brown.
Yeah, he almost got stymied there from Marcus Benson, but for a last split-second block, he spun around, got himself open just enough to get that first down and move to the sideline.
Now with a fresh set of downs, they flip the field. Tulsa on the attack again. Handoff will go to Brown. Again, there was pressure on the front end, but he gets away.
Oh!
Stiff arm in the open field.
There it is.
Goodbye. Douglas Brown right down inside the Sioux Falls red zone. What a run.
It involved two rookies there in Stuart Gotts and Marcus Benson. Gotts was unfortunately the man who just couldn't get his butterfingers on Douglas Brown, and it trusted on Marcus Benson to run his big body forward and try to get him from behind, and he manages to do so. But Tulsa once again inside the red zone, I believe, for the third straight drive.
Goodness me, that was quite the stiff arm. It was humiliating from Brown. Target across the middle. That's incomplete. Looking for Manning. It's the first time in a while we called his number. 2-minute warning at Lucy Red Energy Stadium. The home Tulsa Desperados on the attack with the lead. Back in Tulsa, Oklahoma at Lucy Red Energy Stadium. Spread wideouts for Tulsa in the red zone. Looking to counter the previous score by Sioux Falls. Q across his body. It's caught. Sonzo Robinson. Touchdown Tulsa.
Yeah, that's a huge touchdown for Sonzo. He's got his first of the season. Hasn't had a lot of looks in the season. 4 coming in. He's got 2 big ones in this game already here. And you know what? That's great from Tulsa. They're actually starting to spread this ball around a little bit more. We're so used to seeing Gabriel Manning get all these receptions on this team, but with Sonzo getting himself a touchdown, it kind of gets that Sioux Falls defense questioning. Are they trying to target somewhere else at this point? And here you can see it there. 12-point lead now for the Desperados.
There you go. What a start for JQ. Sonzo Robinson leading into today had 4 catches for 44 yards. Prior to that play, or actually after that play, he's doubled his yardage total on the season. There you go. That great drive by Sioux Falls earlier negated. However, the confidence and the momentum that it would have given them could be really important with an opportunity to go here with 2 minutes left. Turn from the end zone up past the 25 to the 27. And the Sparrows will bring back their offense. And as we mentioned, after that touchdown play with AJ Warren, Kay Marion was injured on that second possession of the quarter. And we'll get an update on her if she's not seen here on this drive at halftime. Looks like Marion may be up the top there, but we'll double check. Roll out by Tyree. He's going to look across his body. That was tough. Bit of a hospital pass there. Thrown to Ben Harrison, the tight end, and they'll lose 1.
Yeah, and they're hoping that top receiver would get a little bit of a better block, but they weren't anticipating 2 Tulsa defenders being on that same side. So that's what led to, that kind of hospital pass we saw from Tyree.
Tyree again throwing. That's thrown over the head of his target. Looked like it may have been one of the tight ends, particularly Harrison, again involved, but Tony Roberta, the outside linebacker, good coverage.
And again, it's that's Tulsa secondary, the Tulsa linemen being ready for passes here. And again, it feels like Sioux Falls starting to fall into the hand of that Tulsa defense.
Go 4 wide here. Man in motion is Ryan Davis. We had to call his name yet. Tyree downfield, incomplete. Falls away. Harrison was the target. But good coverage by Tulsa's defense, and all of a sudden Tulsa have got an opportunity to really kick out this lead.
Yeah, and it was a great job from the linebackers to really step back, and they had basically a one-on-one battle between each of their receivers there, and Tony Roberto basically stayed on his man, did a great job to at least get his hands or his body on a player.
Hunt away, Manning at a 35 will get another good return. Gabriel Manning almost away. It's still a good return, but that's the second time he's threatened to break one off.
Yeah, and this one looked a little bit more dangerous this time because you can see that initial, gangbusters of man meat there, I guess you could call it there. He got through nonetheless and was looking to split himself to the left side sideline and couldn't get to it. But Tulsa in a really good position here, might be considering really to open these floodgates before the second quarter ends.
Just a hair over a minute left in the half for Tulsa to mount another score. That return by Manning could be very important. And there's another catch. Guess who? Gabriel Manning flips the field, gets a first down.
Yeah, and Tulsa sees something right now, and they really got themselves getting this offense going here. So they're going to threaten and possibly get this into a 27-9 game before the quarter ends.
To this point, it's been the DJ Bandit show, but over the last two plays, both on special teams and receiving, Gabriel Manning has re-announced himself in this fixture. Speaking of Bandit, he will move in motion to the left. Q tipped away, good coverage. Jason Strongbow's done that a few times in this opening half.
And again, this Tulsa offense really want to get quick hitters and, open passes down the field here. And then why not at this point? It's been working for them. But Sioux Falls starting to get a hang of it here. So don't be too complacent on just relying on those type of throws.
Sonzo Robinson moves in motion. He had the big touchdown play on that previous scoring drive for the Desperados. Looks open downfield. It's going to go that way and caught downfield for a first down. Big play. Tulsa calls another timeout.
And one of those reasons that Gabriel Manning gets himself so many yards throughout the season is just his ability to get open past 5 yards. And again, gets himself wide open on what feels like a little bit of a streak route that ended up being. And again, why not? You've got a wide open man, throw it to that sucker.
Looked like Sonzo moving into that spot sucked up some of the attention from Sioux Falls' defense, and that allowed Gabriel Manning to get wide open. You can't afford that defensively. Q, pressured, gone. Sacked in the backfield. JQ is mowed over by one of the Sioux Falls linemen, and that sends him back just a touch.
They brought 7 to the house, and that was all 3 linebackers getting to the line, and this time it was Stuart Gotts on the left side of that defense just hammering Q.
Blitz in the red zone, always a massive gamble, but the rookie gets home. Q throws again, tight coverage by Terrell Davis, but it's reeled in by Gabriel Manning. They'll go into the no huddle. Q again on third down, same direction. Manning not gonna get it. Terrell Davis saves the day with the tackle, and it looked like that was a harsh call on Gabriel Manning perhaps, but Brooke Brown and the Tulsa special teams unit happy to come out and knock over the chip shop.
Yeah, and I don't think they mind at all. They have this, pretty comfortable lead right now, and this will just open it up a little bit more here, and they're probably going to tick this down as much as they can to zeros here so they can end the half with a field goal.
Brown winding that clock right down, so chip shot up and good, so save for a miracle play by Sioux Falls. Now the halftime scoreline looks to be 23 points to 7. The home team looking strong, 2 touchdown drives along with 3 field goals from the leg of Brooke Brown. Worth noting as well that Tulsa yet to have a drive where they haven't scored. That's also crucial, even though Sioux Falls' defense has had good moments, yet to stop them completely. The kickoff will not be returned, so Sioux Falls will get a shot at it to end the half.
It would be something if they go 80 yards on one play here. Let's see if they can conjure up something to really stir this pot to get people questioning if this is going to be a one-sided affair or not.
Tyree is in the gun, so every evidence to suggest that they will have a shot here. He'll drop back, launches it deep, and falls away incomplete. He's looking for perhaps AJ Warren downfield, but couldn't find him. And that brings us to the halftime break here at Lucy Red Energy Stadium in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The Tulsa Desperados lead the division rival Sioux Falls Sparrows 23 points to 7 to the half. Brett, first of all, what impressed you the most out of Tulsa in this opening half, and what are you looking for Sioux Falls to claw back into this game?
Simply put, the Tulsa defense has been spot on so far, and they have really, stymied the Sioux Falls offense into really turning into a one-dimensional offense. Jason Williams hasn't had a lot of luck so far, but he hasn't had a lot of touches either. Just 9 carries. He's got 25 yards. He did have that 11-yard scamper earlier on, I believe at the start of the second quarter, in what we felt might be the changing of the tide. But Tulsa reeled it back in, and they started to give Tyree a little bit more trouble in that pocket there. Really started to apply pressure, and when the throws came down deep, they really started to, shut down these key wide receivers. And I think for Sioux Falls, that key loss of K. Marion so far through this half is really starting to, set effect here as that offense hasn't been going. Just 102 yards of first half offense.
Speaking of which, we should get an injury update on K. Marion before this kickoff is taken, if not very early in the half. Welcome back to Lucy Red Energy Stadium in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Visit Lucy Red Energy Drink at lucyred.com and see why the energy is amazing. Gabriel Manning returns it from the 5. He pushes it up past the 30 and almost broke it to the outside once again. Here's Cameron Oban with a game update from SFL headquarters.
Thank you, Jacob. I may only say this once tonight. Arizona is good and Denver is not as good. That score is wrong. Obviously, this game is not final, but Arizona is up 41-14 over Denver in the third quarter. DJ Moses approaching 250 already in this one. Denver just not having a good night. Back to you in Tulsa.
DJ Moses has been spectacular this season, but this potentially a season and potentially career high night for him. But all attention on this Central Division rivalry. That pass from Q to start the drive finds DJ Bandit was the hot hand in that opening half.
Going back to what's been working for them so far in this game, quick hitters right to their main targets. And again, DJ Bandit getting open on that spot gets them 9 yards.
Split backfield. Q handoff Brown. That's a first down. Dragged down by Jason Strongbow, but not before he picked up 6 and a first.
And again, talking about Douglas Brown earlier, with this passing offense being really, really good so far, he didn't have to be as spectacular in this game. He just needs to be solid enough, post some good numbers, and it really will look like a complete Tulsa performance.
Back to the single back. Q drops across his body. Gets caught with his back turned to the defense. Gabriel Manning's got another one.
Yeah, comebacks route this time from Gabriel Manning. Get a nice little 10, 12-yard streak and then come back a little bit there. Some people would say maybe a curl. And yeah, it ended up being a little bit of a comeback, almost a post route, you could say, from that far side. But again, these Sioux Falls secondary guys are maybe starting the plays a little bit too far back, and is getting those receivers open.
Pass across the middle is again caught. This time it looked like potentially Ian Francis got the grab. Second career catch for the second round pick in this previous draft. And JQ, those numbers provided to us by Mark Lopez and Mel Davis. It's been a spectacular night for this leader. Q, hand off Brown. Brown's going to try and push for the first, and they're going to give it to him. That was a tough spot for Sioux Falls. That one, I think, more ambiguous than the others we've seen so far, and as a result, Jason McGee is going to throw a challenge. What do you think, Brett?
Yeah, and I'm on your side here, Jacob. I think that one was short of the first down, but we'll see on the replay here. See, again, it's all about the placement of the football as he goes down, but it looked like when Stewart got to him and he tackled him right there, yet it doesn't look like that ball even crossed the threshold of the first down line. I think this is going to be turned back here.
There you go, Brett Solberg on the money, and so is Stuart Gotts, the rookie outside linebacker. He's had some really impressive moments in this game. It's been Marcus Benson on the other side who's kind of stolen the spotlight in terms of the rookie selections that Sioux Falls brought into this defense, but thus far it's another really good contact from Gotts, and now Brown needing to convert here on a 3rd and short. Hugh will throw. Across his body, it's incomplete, looking for Manning, couldn't find him. In fact, it was DJ Hume who went deep. Q couldn't find him, and Sioux Falls get to stop.
Yeah, with the heavy line that they had there, I thought we were maybe going to run up the cut with Douglas Brown, but immediately as that play went, their 2 tight ends, Bandit and Songo, went immediately forward, and they're going to go for it on 4th down, and they're going to bring an even heavier set here.
Keep the offense out here. On 4th and inches, Brown the lone back. Handoff will go to Brown, and he'll get it. Gamble by the Tulsa offense in field goal territory. They go for it on 4th and inches, and they get the result.
Yeah, and we haven't seen a lot of success from Tulsa's 4th down offense so far this season, but now that makes them 2 of 6 for the season, which ain't that bad now.
It's a tough break for Sioux Falls defense. They got 2 stops and short situations, but gave up the 3rd. Robinson moves in motion. Q in a gun with split back. He'll hand it off to Brown, who tries the angle at the outside. Terrell Davis missed him. Strongbow missed him.
Wow.
He's still going Douglas Brown, and eventually shoved out of bounds by John Barnhart. But gee, he made good work out of those 2 veteran defenders.
Yeah, we'll see on the replay here. There's a lot of opportunity for Douglas Brown to be tackled just after a couple yards, and then just after 6 here if he got pushed out of bounds, but he manages to keep his feet in. That's the key thing when you're a running back and facing these big linebackers, that even after a push, you want to keep yourself in bounds on there, and he does great to keep his feet, intact, and he's not, out of balance at any moment, so he can push forward for that 1st down.
Absolutely showed incredible balance to keep in field. He's going to get another carry here in the leg drive from Doug Brown. Picks up 7, what could have been 2. That's an extra 5 as he's carried Strongbow forward with him. And Tulsa could continue driving forward inside the 10 now. Single back is Brown. They're going to bunch those receivers again. It'll be handed off to Brown. He's going to get the first goal to go.
And really something different that Tulsa's bringing here inside the red zone is they're really starting to trust on Douglas Brown to move that football forward for this team here. We're used to seeing those quick hitters or those long, drawn-out passing plays inside the red zone, but now they're trusting on Brown here, and it's really, shaking up that Sioux Falls defense because of it.
5 to go for Tulsa to net another score. Brown might get it all by himself. He will. Douglas Brown in again. Touchdown Tulsa.
And untouched, Brown goes. There was no sight of Sioux Falls defenders anywhere. So he could have just walked in, he could have had a stroll, he could have been taking selfies along the way if he wanted to. You can just see clear path. Not even John Barnhart was even close to the vicinity before he crossed the touchdown line. And that is just a complete drive from the Tulsa offense to get 6 more on the board. And now it feels like they're starting to run away with it.
Presents as a 6th straight scoring drive for the Tulsa Desperados. 3 touchdowns rather, and 3 field goals as Brooke Brown nets the extra point. The playoffs are almost here, and Week 13 has matchups that mean everything in the postseason picture. 5-5 Charleston battles the 5-5 Carolina Skyhawks on Friday. The central header between the Indianapolis Ramblers visits the 5-5 Las Vegas Fury. Saturday, and 7-4 Canton hosts 5-5 DC. And for the full slate next week, head over to simulationfl.net to plan your next football weekend. As this return by Sioux Falls is broken free. Racing. Could Sioux Falls be right back in the contest? He will carry this all the way and will go untouched. Where did that come from? Not even a contract player at the back for the returns for Sioux Falls, but it pays off. Return touchdown.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this right now. Usually we see either Ryan Davis or AJ Levy out there, but Davis has been usurped, at least in this game, by what I believe was going to be Kay Marion doing kick returns. And this is Marion's replacement coming in here. But if that offense isn't working from Sioux Falls, why not work with your special teams? That is a way to get back in the game, and in the game back quickly.
There you go. Sioux Falls offense has not even stepped out on the field in this half, but they have got a score, and that will give them some confidence leading into the remainder of this game. Extra point from Zashra Black is up and good. The only concern is that Sioux Falls' defense was on the field for 4 straight minutes and on that opening drive for Tulsa. They're now straight back out there. That's concerning because you don't want your defense to tire out, because Tulsa have shown that they're able to sustain drives over an extended period of time. And that may be the only negative. That kickoff was well short of the end zone, and Gabriel Manning says, "Thank you very much. I'll return up that up past the 35 to 37. And now this is a crunch time for Sioux Falls' defense. You've just gotten the special team score. Can you reply and get a stop defensively?
Yeah, and going back to your point on a tired Sioux Falls defense, this is a Sioux Falls defense that has now allowed over 330 yards of total offense now, and just going back out on the field about maybe a minute in actual time and maybe just 20 seconds in game time back out on the field. You got to show some real cojones if you want to stop this Tulsa offense.
Brown outside handoff. Got a block. Goodness me, Douglas Brown is shedding tackles for fun out there at the moment. That looked like the most comfortable 9 yards he's picked up of the night so far. He's making that look very easy.
And just like that, Douglas Brown now hitting his 4th 100-yard rushing game this season, his 3rd in the last 4 games.
Douglas Brown's full of the Lucy Red energy drinks that he's been consuming on the sideline, and has got the zoomies. He's got the carry again here up the middle, and that'll net a first down. He just continues to plow through this Sioux Falls defense, and what has been a disappointing performance. These two teams leading into tonight's game were second last and last respectively in rushing yards per game, but Douglas Brown has exceeded that 88.5 point average tonight. Hugh will pass on first down. He's going to fire it that way to Brown, and Brown will pick up a first again. He beat Marcus Benson, but not the second defender. Good coverage in the end by Jay Ringgold. Game update from SFL headquarters.
Well, Jacob, maybe I'll eat my words. 41-7 at the half, and Denver has come out in the third quarter. Back-to-back touchdowns. Ari Mills with the score. Hey, you never know. 41-21 in the fourth. Back to you.
Well, there you go. If Denver can claw back 14, Sioux Falls could certainly claw back 14. It's also a possession here leading into Sioux Falls territory. Donzo Robinson will go in motion. No one picks him up, so Sioux Falls in a zone. Hugh, with time, he may prep space for himself and creates the pass downfield. Beautiful play. And it's again Ian Francis, the rookie, involved.
Yeah, and he hasn't been involved too much this season. Now he's got 3 times as many receptions as he had coming into this season, or this game here. And he has been an integral part in at least moving that ball down the field. If not being a part of the points, he's being a part of, that brand new, spanking new for Tulsa, the spread the wealth offense, which we have not seen over the course of this season.
It took until week 10 for him to get a first career catch tonight. He's got 2 for good yardage as well. Brown gets a carry on first down. That nets 3, and it's worth noting that all bar Sango, the backup tight end, or the second tight end, I should say, on this Tulsa offense, JQ has involved every one of his receivers at least twice.
Yeah, let's go back to Douglas Brown here. His last 8 touches so far, 57 yards of rushing. It's just amazing that second half performance he's having.
Hugh ignores that advice and finds DJ Bandit. If it's not Manning, if it's not Brown, it's going to be Bandit. He's the second most targeted player on this passing offense, and that gets them close to the first down. And expect the Douglas Brown run here, especially at this look. They've maintained a lot of runs to the outside where those receivers are packed up. And the misdirection again to Brown. Sioux Falls is going to get a stop. They dump him in the backfield. AJ Levy, it's been a while since he's been involved, but that's a big stop from the veteran.
And it's an interesting formation because on that trips bunch, they have Lars Bazar lining up as a tight end, the fullback. Then they have Marquis Sango as a slot, and then they have one of the receivers on the outside. But they haven't utilized that trips option on that right side. It's been all run so far, and I think Sioux Falls caught the attention of that and knew that it was going to be a run.
Well, Brown is now 4 for 4. Mark Lopez telling us that the last 8 touches for Douglas Brown, netting 57 yards. That accounts for almost half of his yardage on the game. Now available free to download, you can play the SFL video game on the go on the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus, an emulator for 4K23 in the palm of your hand. Audio Retroid today at GoRetroid.com, search SFL and download our mod at simulationfl.net/4K23 Retroid, the official console of the SFL, as that kickoff this time not return, but I suppose if you were to pick up a Retroid, you would try and replicate that kickoff return touchdown by Sioux Falls on the previous possession, but their offense now has to get them back in the game. If they score on this drive, the fourth quarter suddenly becomes very interesting. Tyree with Williams as the single back. He will get the carry. A little space up the middle, and Williams is going to get 8. That's a decent start.
Yeah, not too bad. They'll take 8 yards there. Opens up the playbook for second down. But Sioux Falls, I don't think they have to. I don't think, moving forward, at least these last 12 minutes of the game here, there might be less of the Williams carries and more of the Williams swing passes moving forward here.
Second and short. Another handoff for Jason Williams, and Tulsa plugs that gap nicely. Marco Swift tackles him behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and Swift has been really involved in this second half and at least being a nuisance on defense. He doesn't have, gaudy stats or anything, in the second half, but at least he's been a nuisance for either receivers or running back.
Williams, the lone back, will go in motion. They've only used him as a receiver once tonight. Tyree pressured, downfield caught, first down. Well executed play, finds Jason Williams right on cue. Second catch for the veteran back.
Yeah, and we should see this a little bit more here. They use Jason Williams as a slot receiver and move Charlemagne Cornelius as that main blocker, which he is a little bit better at than Williams in being protective against Tyree. So why not use that speed of Williams and see if he can catch that football down the field?
11 seasons in the league. He's picked up a lot of experience in those. His second season with the Sparrows, after crossing from Fort Worth. Tyree drops back again. Williams runs around. He's going to ignore it. Over the map back. And it's incomplete. Charlemagne Cornelius ran the deep route.
Yeah, and now they're just using all the running backs as receiver options, trying to make up for that absence of K. Marion so far in this game, which we still haven't seen yet. So we will definitely need to get an injury report at the end of this third quarter to see her condition.
Tyree, delay handoff. Williams is blown up. Loses potentially about 4, but it's going to be called 2. There you go. Chris Andrews just got straight through that Sioux Falls line and dumps him behind the line of scrimmage. And now Sioux Falls have got an uphill task once again on 3rd and long. Tyree with an empty backfield. 5 wide. He'll look. That's a short catch, but it's ran for the first down. Brilliant effort, not only to reel it in, but Joseph Beaudet to get the run after catch and pick up the first to end the quarter.
And I have to say, a very smart throw from Tyree, throwing it in front of Nano Matthews, not being quite ready for it. It might have been a little bit low, but look how Beaudet adjusts himself. He keeps pushing forward to get that first down. Amazing play.
And a quarter, we'll get an injury update on K. Marion return after Chris Curtis reads us our rights.
The of the Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
There you go. Almost anticipated that K. Marion would not return tonight, given we haven't seen her in the 4th quarter. That's a huge loss for the Sioux Falls offense, but still driving with a chance to reclaim their foothold in the game. But they will be without their 6'6", 225 wideout for the remainder of this game. Beaudet will take her spot in that slot. It's been such a heavy targeted position. Tyree's going to look that way. It's caught by Beaudet again. 2nd straight catch for the wideout. His first season with the Sparrows, crossing over from the Jacksonville Kings.
Yeah, and you can see that Sioux Falls has kind of been forced to play the passing game because going back to Jason Williams there, he's had 5 carries of 0 or fewer yards. If you take 5 of those carries away, we're looking at 8 carries for 30 yards, which looks better than 12 for 30.
Tyree launches across his body, finds Warren. It's been a minute since we found him. Tyree copped a knock for his troubles, but keeps it moving. And you mentioned that this Tulsa defense has got star power across the front, but by far the most impressive portion of it is the front 7, that defensive line, along with the linebacking core of Ware, Collins, and the veteran Tony Roberto. That toss to the outside for Jason Williams, got a little bit of burst of speed. He won't get the first, but he makes it a little more attainable. David Ware crossing over to make the tackle.
And again, talking about that front 7 and the linebacking core, there's David Ware, right on cue, I guess you could say here, along with Phil Collins, stifling Jason Williams once more.
Williams, he get the carry here on 3rd down. He'll keep it going. Call it a gain of about 6, and Jason Williams just continues to plug forward and keep this Sioux Falls team alive.
Yeah, that was the first time I feel in this game that Sioux Falls' offensive line did a great job in opening the gap for Jason Williams to run forward, because he didn't get touched once he passed that first down marker, and that's how we got those extra yards. And now Sioux Falls, once again, starting to threaten a little bit here. They want to make a game out of this.
Now in the red zone, 15 to go for the Sparrows. Jason Williams will go in motion into the slot. He got tripped over and a route won't matter. Joseph Bodette again with a first down grab. Can't check that. AJ Warren, the veteran, picks up the first, and that gives them a goal to go situation.
Yeah, and it wasn't just Warren getting maybe a little caught up there. It was just Nate Heslip not covering his man well enough there. Despite grabbing the interception early on in this game, Nate Heslip has kind of been burned a few times now from by Warren here. So watch out for that one-on-one battle, at least until the end of this game.
Warren stepping up in the absence of K. Marion. Jason Williams couldn't quite get away from the block set by Charlemagne Cornelius, and David Ware with another important tackle.
Yeah, and that was just a failure to recognize that he had options to either go outside or inside of Cornelius and just try to keep pushing, behind him, and that wasn't going to work.
They'll go for it again here. Williams trying to escape. He does! A little Houdini act from Jason Williams, who got stuck in that Tulsa defense and eventually came out the other side. Touchdown, Sioux Falls.
Yeah, and in a game where it felt like Sioux Falls' offense hasn't been really going here, this drive, easily their best of the game here to go down the field and get this score here. Now adding a little bit of doubt into Lucy Red Stadium here. Can Sioux Falls get back in this game? An extra point away from making this a 12-point game.
Extra point from Zashtel Black is up and good. Jason Williams has averaged shy of 3 yards per carry, but that does not matter now. That drive indicated that he's still got something left in the tank. And there you go, 7.5 minutes left. Another stop here by this veteran Sioux Falls defense, and all of a sudden we can start asking questions. Manning from the 5. Again, breaking tackles off the return. Gosh, he's good in trying to create open space for himself. Such a natural ball runner. You put him in the backfield and he wouldn't look out of place.
It's a reason why he's a Hall of Famer. It's for his going to be such a standout special teams player that, any chance he gets a kick return or a punt return, you feel like he's going to threaten for a touchdown each time. He's deservedly a Hall of Famer because of that.
Absolutely. Any question about him making the Hall of Fame in the offseason can be answered with that one word: returning. He's the best to ever do it in the league. Handoff Brown will explode up the middle, gets 4. And Sioux Falls now need to lock up defensively.
Yeah, that's exactly it. They need to actually stop this Tulsa offense because, like you've been saying throughout this game, Tulsa has not had a non-scoring drive. It's either been touchdown or field goal throughout this game.
Q throws, and Bandit will just fall over for the first down. Doesn't matter how pretty it is, it's the fact that you get it done. And DJ Bandit now with his 7th catch of the night.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be pretty. An ugly catch is still a catch, and a first down is a first down no matter how you put it.
Handoff outside. Douglas Brown is stuffed. Only a gain of 1. Strongbow involved in that tackle. Game update from SFL headquarters.
I got to tell you about this one, Jacob. As Arizona turned on their dominance, they actually just scored again with DJ Moses. DJ Moses breaks this season's single-game rushing record, 376 yards. He just scored an SFL record 8th touchdown, and Arizona has hung 62 on Denver. Back to you in Tulsa.
Oh my God, Eddie Gage would be thrilled. That offensive line has been phenomenal this season, but that is a real standpoint. DJ Moses breaking records over in the other game tonight. Tulsa now on 3rd down. Drops back in coverage. Oh, he beat it.
Oh, man.
And that could be the ball game. DJ Hume will take it all the way. The corner jumped for Sioux Falls, and DJ Hume gobbles it up, and they're going to extend it out to a 19-point advantage.
Yeah, and I think that's one of those things that just caps off the game there. Again, beating your guy, and then again, we talked about this throughout the game. The secondary of Sioux Falls too far back, so opportunities of 10 to 12-yard routes get wide open, and Barnhart had to catch up to Hume there, and it was just a hope and a prayer to get interception, and it just was not to happen. Once again, another scoring drive for Tulsa, and to say the words from JBL, ball game!
John Barnhart, the 10-season veteran, took the gamble on that play, but unfortunately paid the biggest price, and now, as you say, this looks well out of reach now for the Sparrows. They will get the ball back to try and make a ball game out of it, but you feel any score that they made to try and keep this game within reach needs to be made within a minute at minimum. Returned from the goal line to beat the first man who rushed through and bit it up past the 25 to the 27. That's where Sioux Falls will come back out. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. Sioux Falls now. Game well and truly on the line if that last play from DJ Hume wasn't already the end. Williams up the middle is dumped at the line of scrimmage. It looks like some of the backups may be in for Tulsa defensively.
Get a few extra reps out of it ain't a bad idea, but they do have to be wary. This still is a ball game no matter what the situation is. You don't stop playing until there's 3 zeros on that game clock.
Nate Hazlitt is still in the picture. He moves in motion to pick up Bodette. Tyree off his back foot looked for AJ Warren, is tipped away. Good coverage in the end by Jay Brock. First time we've mentioned the slot corner in his Tulsa defense. Their secondary has probably been the part of the defense that's struggled the most. Tyree has done a decent job at throwing it downfield. Hasn't turned the ball over since the opening quarter. And it's been the pressure from their front end that's gotten the job done today. Tyree off his back foot. One-handed grab across the middle. That was fancy by AJ Warren. That's his 7th grab for over 80 yards on the night.
Good formation to go into as well.
The huddle and almost picked off. You look for Jason Williams, who ran the route, but Marco Swift was there in the area along with Jay Rock to bat it away.
And I think the goal for Sioux Falls is, no matter what, at least get a score on this drive and see if they can keep the football until the end of this game to really, make it a game, despite what we feel like is really a guaranteed Tulsa victory at this point, because they can't stop scoring on offensive drives. But Tulsa needs to respond in kind by, stopping themselves.
Tyree drops back, and that throw over the back is incomplete. And interestingly, the last game for Tulsa was within the division. They played the Indianapolis Ramblers, where they only scored 10 points and were pretty stagnant offensively tonight. As you say, they've not set a foot wrong, even if they haven't scored every time they've gotten in the red zone. They've at least put points up on the board every time their offense has touched the football, and if you're doing that, it's very hard, if not impossible, to lose. Joseph Bodette will move into the slot on 3rd down. Tyree will look across his body. That's tipped away with coverage. Cameron Shaw. And it sets up 4th down. This is the ball game.
Yeah, this is essentially the ball game here. If they can convert this 4th down and keeps moving them forward here. But Sioux Falls probably needs to grab a rabbit out of their hat here if they want to continue this drive, because Tulsa has been on point at least these last couple plays.
Another empty back set for Tyree. And in motion appears to be Eddie Maddox, the tight end. Tyree with an open pocket.
Ooh.
Incomplete. The flag on the play. Oh, the Sioux Falls receivers copped a shot in the back as he went for the catch. And that will merit an immediate first down.
A little bit more bang bang this time. A little close, too close for comfort for my liking here. But ultimately is the right call. It looked like Nano Matthews was just a split second too early on the tackle attempt. And again, this season, these referees are really keying in on if you're focusing on the ball or the man. If you're focusing on the man first, there's an increased likelihood they're going to call that. They're going to call that penalty.
Matthews, the fourth corner on his depth chart, second season player. Originally drafted by Queen City last season, crossed over to Tulsa in the previous off-season. Tyree drops back. That's caught somehow. Like the receiver got frozen. He still got 4 out of it. Sioux Falls go no huddle. Tyree drops back across his body again. It's caught for a first. AJ Warren that time again. Tyree again with a block to the outside. That's caught on the outside by that backup receiver who's been the returner tonight. He gets a 7-yard pickup. Tyree again with a clean pocket. Looks end zone incomplete. That's the first time they've taken a shot at it this drive. Joseph Bodette couldn't come up with it.
Yeah, and I like Sioux Falls' gumption here to keep pushing forward with these passes, and they're going to unconventional routes there. You see the special teams expert Davis there getting a couple catches on that hurry up, and now throwing it over to Bodette, who hasn't had a lot of involvement this season, but has had a pretty decent game so far. Almost got that catch for the touchdown there.
He's going to keep that bunch formation here with the empty backfield. Potentially another end zone shot here for Tyree. Looks that way, incomplete. And straight through the hands of Joseph Bodette. Couldn't reel it in, was Travis Arthur in coverage.
And it didn't feel like Arthur was even aiming to grab that ball either. He just said, you know what? I'm going to do that classic, soccer shoulder goal that you see from FIFA Street, but this time keep it up in the air. See if any of my Tulsa defenders go with it. But the Tulsa defenders were like, dude, what are you doing?
That's a great reference for the simple term of alligator hands, but I love it. Tyree drops back, fourth down, that won't do it. And Tulsa will get possession back deep inside their own territory, but it won't matter. With that 19-point advantage, you can safely say that is game, set, bingo. Tulsa will now move to 4-6. Barring something completely unforeseen. And that means that they have a shot, or the better shot out of these two teams. It's worth noting, we mentioned that we're talking off air prior to kickoff, that the loser of this game isn't necessarily out of the picture, but the road back is very hard now for the Sparrows, especially looking ahead. They have to play the Alamo City Artillery next week. That could be the final nail in the coffin. As Douglas Brown breaks one off, he's gone into the Sioux Falls secondary and is eventually picked up and dropped by AJ Levy. That's a nice way to put a little stamp on it.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time left to go. We're still looking at around 3:45 left in this quarter, and you have to feel that run there. It's just adding salt to the wound with Douglas Brown finding an open lane on the left side and using his agility to get past defenders and give a little bit of comfortable room behind Tulsa there. But we should see, at least for the last 3.5 minutes here, a lot of touches from Douglas Brown until they can start kneeling and get those timeouts out of the way from Sioux Falls.
Brown now has 145 on the night, averaging just over 5 per carry. And wind that play clock right down, and Brown will get a carry that nets short yardage. The other opponent leading into the rest of the Sparrows schedule, they will host the current division leaders, the Indianapolis Ramblers, whereas for Tulsa, it's a little clearer, the road to the playoffs. They have to travel to Texas to face the Houston Headhunters next week, and then they host the Minnesota Legend at home in week 14. That could be a really important game, especially given that Minnesota have been on a real losing rut after starting the first half of the season looking like the clear division favorite in the Central.
And you have to think Houston just coming off a loss against Vancouver as well, pushing them to 4-6. So those might be 2 games that Tulsa can take advantage of and possibly get their season to 6-6.
Douglas Brown with another carry. It's worth noting he's well exceeded his season average of 88.5 yards per game. Tonight he's exceeded over 150. It's been a much healthier night for the lead back for Tulsa. 2-minute warning here at Lucy Red Energy Stadium. The home Desperados are looking to sail away with a win here over the Sioux Falls Sparrows at home. And you feel another first down or 2 here and they'll be able to ice this one away. A 19-point victory as it sits. That misdirection handoff for Brown has been sporadic in its success tonight, but that nets a first down, and that's the first timeout called by Sioux Falls.
You want to talk about stats from this game here? This is just the 3rd game for Douglas Brown to get over 30 rushing attempts, and you can see the results there. All 3 of those games have been over 100 yards. He got 102 against Alamo City on 30 carries, and then 144 against Las Vegas on 40 carries. You give him the rock, he could get an opportunity to run past the field.
Brown again on first down. He will roll forward and pick up 9, and he's going to get close to 200 the way that he's going on this drive. But it's interesting you mention that. I mean, we talk about the presence of Gabriel Manning in this passing game, but last season, when Tulsa made the playoffs at 7-5, it was Douglas Brown who was the real hero, who took a massive step forward in season 20. This season hasn't quite been there, but is showing, as you mentioned, signs, especially tonight, that form might be back in show. That first down is good, and Sioux Falls will burn another timeout. Another week in the SFL will wrap up this week on This Week in the SFL, rewinding the tape on what has been an electrifying Week 12, plus Baltimore will host Atlanta in a battle of the top 2 teams from last regular season. Can the Swarm stop the Vultures' streak this week in the SFL? 7:15 p.m. Eastern, kickoff an hour later at 8:15 as that kneel is taken by Q. And worth noting that if Baltimore win tomorrow night, they will officially claim the Atlantic Division. No team now elsewhere in the Atlantic, despite the sea of 5-5 teams that plague the division, would be able to claim it from Baltimore at 8 wins. And here now, Tulsa, similarly looking at division titles, they are best positioned to pursue Indianapolis, who are 4-6. Sioux Falls, meanwhile, will fall back with Minnesota to the foot of the division and will now need to win out to give themselves a chance of taking out the division title for themselves. But again, we mentioned at the top of the game, that Canton result earlier in the week means that this division is well and truly in play.
And very much so. So every last game counts here. So all 4 of these teams still have, an opportunity. And, come week 14, we're going to see divisional battles here between all 4 teams. Like you said, Sioux Falls will face Indianapolis, and that might be big moving down if they can upset Alamo City in week 13. And then Tulsa will take on Minnesota, and that could be an interesting game as well. It would all dependent on the week 13 results.
So lots to look forward to in the remainder of this season, and unfortunately for Tulsa, inconsistency has just plagued their season and their chances of taking out the Central. They probably feel like this is one that really got away from them, but irrespective, this is the second highest score they've put up this season, only to the 44-point win over the San Diego Mavericks just 3 weeks ago. But Tulsa will take out the win at home. Sioux Falls were okay, but okay was not going to get the job done against an offense that had, apart from that final drive to end the game, a 100% record on scoring drives in this game. Brett Solberg, your thoughts on what we've just seen?
Tulsa now winners of 3 of their last 4 games, and what you felt they were dead in the water at 1-5 and now brought themselves back up, tying with Indy at 4-6 right now. And simply put, for Sioux Falls, you can't think of allowing 476 yards against Tulsa and think you can win this game. Simply put, the offense was just not there in that first half, and they played catch up throughout the way. It started off with just 29 yards of first quarter offense, and they played catch up through the rest of the way. And it felt like they were just running on molasses at some points, especially when it came to Jason Williams. He had a couple nice runs, but he just cannot get things done. Whereas for Tulsa, everything was going offensively. Like you said, 100% click rate when it came to drives. Every drive ended in a touchdown except for this one here, which is just moot point at this stage here. And Tulsa now carrying huge momentum moving forward the last 2 weeks. And Sioux Falls, they need to fight back now.
Incredibly important that Tulsa were able to triple the rushing total for all Sioux Falls, and potentially that injury to K. Marion in the second quarter took the wind out of Sioux Falls' sails. But for now, Tulsa give themselves the best chance of pursuing the Central Division title leading into the final 2 weeks. For Jacob Clear and Brett Solberg in the boost, Mel Davis and Mark Lopez on stats tonight, Commissioner Cameron over on producing. As always, we say see you later, and we'll see you tomorrow night for the Monday Night Spectacular starting at 7:15 p.m. Baltimore versus Atlanta. See you later.
Bye.